Well, it's a hot day today. Gonna run a little experiment. I grabbed my little alcohol thermometer from the other room. 79, 7980 EX. Okay. Let's be really accurate about this, because it was 7950X before that, so it was just too close to. It was too easy of a change to make. It's easier to switch from like a 2600K to 7980XE, because then, you know. Alan Parsons' project I've heard a lot about, but educate me on what kind of music that is. I don't think I've ever listened to him or them or Pink Floyd inspired title. Okay. The X in the sky? I mean, it's Sky Lake X, so I don't know. I'm certainly no Pink Floyd fan. I'm a fan of so many different things, music wise, but not Pink Floyd and Alan Parsons Project. No way. I'm not saying I don't like them, I'm just saying that I'm totally ignorant about them. So it is now 8:20 p.m. here in Sydney, Australia. The other room was 27 degrees, which is actually quite pleasant. I don't mind that. But the other room is also where the aircon is. So that's aircon off. But there's just no way I could ever blast the aircon hard enough for it to reach over here. So I'm not even trying. I do have a ceiling fan. It gets very noisy and annoying though. Okay, Alan Parsons is prog rock. Dark Side of the Moon, definitely not a fan of that. Those kind of concept albums, like I listened to Miles Davis, Bitches Brew earlier on double LP, and that was amazing. So I'm not opposed to that kind of music. I mean, I don't know if this is a valid comparison to make, but I feel like, yeah, Dark Side of the Moon is known to be one of these kind of albums that basically just runs on, doesn't necessarily have tracks in the most sort of conventional sense. Eye in the Sky. Okay. So anyway, 27 was still okay, but now I've got an M80X streamer, a laptop in front of me, an HEDT system next to me, a 500-watt chiller next to that, and 2 cameras running and 2 stream lights. So even just what are we now, 6 minutes into the stream, it's gone from 27 degrees to 29 degrees in this room. I'm gonna sit it on my desk here and watch it, because I have the door open, but that doesn't really help too much in dissipating stuff. So I'm having a Sauce Brewing Company hazy pale ale to keep me cold. It doesn't help that I have a so-called rental inspection in a couple of days time, and I'll have to mention to them that the fly screens, especially in this room, are just really fucked. Like, I can't really open the windows at night because the fly screens are broken, and then small flies get in and start whirring around my head. Nice and warm in the winter, yes, but what about the summer? Okay, let's talk a tiny little bit about RAM. I've been doing quite a bit of not RAM benching. That would be giving myself a little bit too much credit. But I'll just share with you what I'm at in terms of DDR4 and DDR5. Let's start with DDR4. By far my most common benching RAM over the last couple of years has been this 4600 Bain A2 G-Skill Royals kit. I'm not sure if one stick is actually dead. I have on occasion had problems with kits where a stick is half dead and it just won't run dual channel anymore, but you can run the half dead kit stick single channel. But I just can't get this working on Z590 or AM4, which is a real shame because it's a great kit. It does, you know, all the stuff. It did on my good IMC 3600 Ryzen. It did like 5,000 C15 through Cinebench, and just I don't know. It's just a great kit. I'm so sad that it died. It died when I was trying to bench AM4 for Team Cup. I think it took either the kit took 2 boards along with it, or one of the boards killed this kit, but then another board died independently of that. But the good news is DDR4 is cheap now, so I should get more A2. But I don't currently have any A2. But what I do have is so I've got a quad kit here. I recently learned that the early 2017-18 stuff is bad compared to what you can get now. So maybe it's not the greatest thing ever, but it's certainly the best quad kit I've ever had. I don't think it's a true quad kit, but it's, you know, it's 4 of the same stick, it's 4 of the same SKU, and it's G-Skill, I think 3600 C14, something like that. I may as well just show you the SPD tab if I know where to get that, because this is EVGA we're talking about. Let's have a short little look. Maybe it's under the infamous extras menu at the top there. Yeah, A0 is good, but I mean, that's a good point actually. So I guess because A0 stopped being made, then the penalty for running an older kit is not so bad anymore, because, you know, there was no A0 later on. Let's try extras. Is there really no SPD section? There is a TRCD or a TRC option. We'll go back in a minute. Okay, I'll show it to you in OS in a minute. So I've got the quad, I've got the dead A2s, my secondary benching kit, but it's a bit of a shame because it's disallowed in competitions, because do you see the sample sticker on it? So this is it's a retail bin. And I do have, so I wanted, there was Uncle Mad TSE ran a competition on Facebook where he was giving away old A0 RAM when Galax were he works for Galax were transitioning to A2. So I won this kit in the raffle, but I to the best of my knowledge, is competition illegal because it's got that sample sticker on it, even though I have a commercial invoice for it, which would usually make it retail. And the actual bin, you know, I could show it to you in OS. The bin is retail. It's nothing special. It's no custom PCB or anything, or SPD, I mean. But it's A0. It's again, it's good. I was very happy with the RAM that I had, both in terms of my A0 kit and my A2 kit. I'm not a big RAM guy, so I just want something that's decent and just forget about it and just use the same kit over and over and over again. I'm not like that shabby Shito guy. Just peel it off. Can I show you? This could be interesting. I don't want to give away any identifying information, but okay. So the top has my name on it, so I'll have to fold back the top of this. DDR3. I might get to that part, but yeah. So to basically import this into Australia, they had to, even though it was a prize, they had to provide an invoice. So there's the Galax stamp, and it says what it is: DDR4 4000 2x8 gigabytes, and it says one piece and commercial value $20. Take amount is for customs declaration only. So yeah, I don't know, it's a bit of a gray zone, isn't it? Like, it used to be back in the day, I won't mention any names, but certain benchers, in order to make their kits of DDR3 competition legal, they would ask certain manufacturers, I won't name any names, even though I know the names of the benchers and I know the names of the manufacturers and my source is credible, they would get a manufacturer to write them an invoice to make it retroactively retail. I'm sort of in the opposite position here, where I have a kit that is retail but sort of is retroactively ES. Okay, so that's the DDR4 that I own. Just to mention, very, very early on in my benching career, I had a 32 gig kit of just random ICs that I had to sell pretty quickly. And then the first thing I got was 2 kits of flares. These are 80 as well, but I think one. So this is what I used quad before I got this kit, which I borrowed from another bencher. But these are flare 3200 C14s, and I think one stick is dead, and they're just like they've just been benched to hell. This is before I got these other 2 kits, and then this is what I ran during Team Cup in absolute desperation. I actually ran some B die, I believe, which is the Samsung 4 GB early DDR4 single-sided. I ran this, believe it or not, on the X299 Dark because I didn't have this quad kit yet, and I needed a score for 3 Mac 11 dual card with physics test counted and LJ 1700 disallowed. So the best thing I had was, I mean, a 5950X is probably absolutely optimal, but I don't own that chip, and I didn't have a working M4 board at the time. But the absolute, like the next best thing is an 18 core. So that's my crap RAM. I have some Aorus DJR for max frequency that's currently in my stream rig. I obviously can't pull that or the stream will go down. So that's what I own, including dead sticks. I own 8, 2, and another 4. I only own 14 sticks, which I think, considering I need to cover off all bases, you know, DJR, A0, A2, and quad channel, I think that's kind of almost the bare minimum. And these 4 sticks don't really do anything. They're just absolute. I'm planning to put them into a home router that I'm building eventually. Okay, so that's all my DDR4. Hi Flop18, welcome to the chat and stream. First time chatter. Hopefully this is a little bit entertaining. We're overclocking today, and the rig today is going to be this thing, but we're not there yet. Dual rank. No, the dual rank was always a bit overhyped because it puts extra stress on your IMC. The dual rank is like, I'm sure there's certain like fringe benchmarks where it really is OP, probably like something like X265, but for the benches that I care, like 32M, like a lot of Aussie benchers did a lot of dual rank 32M testing, and it was like, yeah, if your IMC is like happy with dual rank, it was like this weird sweet spot where the average dual rank kit on 11th gen would do lower gear 1 than the average single rank kit, but there's also an absolute limit to what gear 1 your IMC will do no matter what. So if your IMC's gear 1 absolute limit roughly aligns with the gear 1 limit of your dual rank kit, then you may be in a position where like for like, same timing, same frequency, gear 1 dual rank will be quicker than single rank. But it was never as big of a difference as people were making it out to be. Yeah, White Cruncher. Look, I'm not saying that it doesn't make a difference. It's not snake oil, but it was so overhyped. It's a bit like G-Die, you know, it's so overhyped at the time. And you know, that was towards the very, very end of DDR4, and dual rank was expensive then. I might, now that my A2 is dead, I may just opt to get dual rank just as my one A2 kit. But as a third dual channel benching kit, I was never that into it. I never owned any. Ooh. Okay, let me get my other DDR5 sticks. This is my only A die. It's OEM. It's got the Renzas PMIC. It runs quite well. The only problem is neither on the AM5 tachyon nor on the Z790 tachyon. I haven't tried the Z690 tachyon. It will unlock the PMIC. But at 1.43, this does quite well. Like, I still do 4000 air and on AMD and stuff. Had a lot of fun with this on AM5 this week, but DDR5 prices have gone absolutely, down so much that I picked up a guaranteed unlocked PMIC, like just a random kit that some other bencher recommended to me, which should get here in a couple of days. But this is my only 8i so far. It works well. I'm sure if I got it to unlock, it would do all I ever need from 8i. The big critical thing, even like 1.43 isn't as limiting as you might think for a lot of benches, but on Intel you need 1.6 VDD and VDDQ to kill the cold bug. Then during Corsair Comp they sent us 2 kits. This is early MDI. I don't think it's anything special. I also couldn't get the PMIC to unlock, but I think it's like 6200 bin. It's early DDR5 MDI. I've got 4 total sticks, so if there's no quad channel DDR5 platforms that I'm aware of right now, but if there ever were, this might come back into play. And then my final kit, which I need to polish it or something because the gold contacts have gone totally crazy bad. So High Cookie sent me these. They did 6800, which at the time, like early 12th gen, was considered kind of good. That's why he put that sticker on there, but they just need to be like re-golded or sanded down or polished, or I need to do something because they just have problems posting. I think that's an Aorus kit. And funnily enough, maybe somebody has the answer to this, but even though this is it just says SK Hynix Korea, I would imagine this is a true OEM kit, yet it identifies as KLEV, KLEVV on the SPD. I don't know what that's about. Because it's not like heat spreaders removed or anything. It's literally like they came as green sticks. So the E490 doesn't clock dual rank as well as the dark. Yeah, so there's multiple aspects to dual rank. First of all, the kits at the time were more expensive. 32 gigs of RAM was a lot at the time. Secondly, the variance of the kits, I would argue, was higher. You'd have to been through more dual rank kits to get as good of a clocking kit as single rank. Third, it puts more pressure on the IMC. And then I guess fourth, sometimes you're going through all those 3 first points and then it doesn't really help that much on the particular bench that you're running anyway. And then fifth, of course, like you say, is bias compatibility and all that. You need the AM5. Not a lot of good boards out there. You wanna bench it, Sebi? So OP for points now. I mean, that's a very Intel-centric point of view, because Intel has always been OP for points. Now AMD is ever so slightly less un-OP for points than it was previous to this week. But anyway, RDIMMs. Yeah, what's the big deal with RDIMMs? Why? First of all, why did Intel switch to RDIMM for the hex channel Xeon platform? And then secondly, why do we believe? I mean, is it just the capacities? Has some kind of like some, not bottleneck, some like limit been reached with the unbuffered DIMMs? It's a database thing. The dark, you mean this dark? Or the AM5 dark, or sorry, the AM4 dark, I guess, for dual rank. And are we talking DDR5 or DDR4 dual rank? Okay, I'll quickly get my DDR3 benching RAM out. This may not be absolutely all of it. I think my MFR is maybe excluded from this like little selection, but Gotta flash those GTX 2s. Not so many of them around. Three sticks. I hope they last me a lifetime. Gotta love that really tall heatsink on there. Beautiful. So of course they get their own little bag. Oh, our deems are key differently. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know why you would run dual rank for quad channel, because I'd imagine the step up from 2 total ranks for dual channel single sided to 4 total ranks for a dual channel double sided is bigger than the step up from 4 total ranks on a quad channel platform to 8 total ranks. So, you know, so I have them separated out. Here's all my other hypers. I used to have Kingston, but it just clocked so badly. I think I just killed it on like cold or something. So these are quite nice. This is like better than what the average person has for hypers. These are C7s, 2000 C7s. So 787 2000. So that's already a very expensive kit these days. And then I've got your average 2000 888. I've kept 4 sticks of this. I used to have like 12 sticks or something, but I sold some on to other benchers. Extra capacity, yeah, but I mean, what bench needs the extra capacity? We talking daily here? Because I don't daily anything. I don't overclock my daily. I think daily OC is one of the hardest things in the world. I mean, it's harder than benching. Because you never know when something's stable, right? $10B is not a ranked. It's not a ranked bench. I don't give 2 fucks about $10B. I have a hard enough time trying to bench all of the ranked benches. Never mind the unranked benches. Where's my tequila sticks? I always like showing my tequila sticks. I have nothing special for Sammy. There's some team groups in there. The team groups just look nice. They're not as amazing clocking as you might think. But I've got a team group Extreme, LV, quad kit. This is generic 2400 Sammy. Tridents, Dominators. That's how, as far as Sammy goes. Here's a random crucial PSC from another bencher. Then I've got 2300 811-8, which is one of the best bins available. And I have, I think, 4 sticks. Oh, here's my tequilas. I think there should be a 4th stick as well. These tequilas are the infamous 2000 710 bin. And oh, they're vased up now, but you may be able to make out the writing on there, which means they're hand binned, the ICs. So they picked the ICs and then added them to the PCB rather than manufacturing a certain number of sticks and then binning the sticks. And then here's just your average Corsair PSC. Yeah, so I'm not going to show you my MF4. I've got some Miller ES, so I shouldn't really say his name, I guess. Disregard the last statement. Okay, so that's my RAM. So here's our system. Chiller, obviously. So in OS, the thing that's showing A6 now is going to show the temperature through the bench. I think the other one just stays inactive. Tequila, yeah, Tequila was a binner who worked for G-Skill back in the day. Maybe just a little look through the BIOS. So I settled on 47 for the multi. 48 wouldn't pass, but well, 48 does pass, but I'm going up in BCLK because one of the things with this platform is There's no memory strap in between 38800 and a 4000. And also it likes lower VDIM, so 1.8 is probably about the cap of what's like sensible. So to sort of get in between 3800 and 4000, I'm running 102 BCLK. VN I probably will have to up later on. Mesh 30 just passed. I don't think 31 will pass with a BCLK. VCore I'm already getting like almost 100 degrees at 1.375. Chiller is set to 15 degrees Celsius. I need to up vMesh maybe later to maybe just eke out another 100 megahertz here or there. Yeah, and then I haven't touched SA or IO. Maybe Paul knows. Yeah, okay, she still works there. That's good to hear. I don't know what the Z490 postcode issues are. No, Mesh 31 is passing, but Mesh 32 didn't. But I'm still still at stock vMesh, and I just wonder what Encore even means, because what does Encore mean in this context? I thought Mesh is the only Encore that exists on this platform. Maybe someone knows. Is there anything else of note? I mean, the timings are reasonably tight. Nothing, you know, earth-shattering. But there's already VSA and IO, so our SA and IO KVX voltages that I need to ignore, and should I be setting V Encore if I'm trying to push memory? It's been a while, guys, since I've used this platform. Okay, let's. Earlier on, I was on the homepage of Twitch, and one of the little like thumbnails was a lady, like, what was it? It was like playing the flute, but wearing only underwear. It was just totally bizarre. That platform is yeah, it's going places. IO 1.25. 9G. Was 9G even real last time I did it? Alright, I should have a third camera up to look at the okay, it's holding steady at 29 degrees. I thought it was gonna get worse than that. Okay, next time I'm in bias, I'll probably ask advice again. I think 10G will happen. Oh, there's your temperature, by the way. Really interesting with all the subtests in Geekbench. So I think what's happened is the ambient temperature going up has stopped the RAM from passing the bench. It's not great. Need to run the rock voltages. I mean, 1.94 single core isn't. I'm not impressed by that. It's funny how XOC has gone on all these platforms. Like, for as long as I can remember, 1.9 is around where everything tops out. Like, I was running 5900X this week, and I saw scaling up to 1.9 for single core. Yeah, yeah, they have monitoring on it. You know, the only thing with this platform is why is it reset that? It's not I've not done anything. I've not added any hardware or anything. Let's see if it'll load. Okay, let's just for the sake of this one thing, drop the mesh down 1 again. And typical XOC software, no, it's way worse. Turbo V is the best. GTL, but the support is a bit patchy. I mean, Formula Drive even I would take over Elite. $1.68. Yeah, but you know, the other thing that happens is on these newer platforms, LLC has such a big influence on stuff. So a lot of the displayed vCores are to be taken with an even greater grain of salt than previously. Okay, so that's it. Yeah, Win 11 was just an experiment. I was just trying to see how it would score, you know. I'm not saying it's the best, not by any stretch of the imagination. It would probably help if I didn't try to open 2 instances of Geekbench. Of course, I killed the wrong one. Standard luck. Okay, let's try this again. Turbo V is a very good CPU killer. You know, any overclocking software is a good CPU killer if you put your mind to it. Okay, obviously it's wanting me to do a reboot. Yeah, it does have to be said that X299 is buggy with a lot of things just by default. But even having said that, whoops, Elite is pretty bad because like stuff like it won't set vCore for me. It'll just hang the OS. Max out the vCore slider. Nice. Yeah, Elite is just generally not good. It also has this weird thing where there's an Elite X and an Elite X1, and they just work for different platforms instead of just having like version 3, version 4. The X1 is like for Z690 and up or something, and the X is the one I want for X299. It's just confusing. Z97. Yes, but the problem is Z97 EVGA boards are hot garbage. So whether or not the OC software is any good is kind of beside the point. Yeah, it's delivered. It's even got a custom like copper heat spreader on it. That's how I bought it used. I still don't think thermals are great. One of the issues is I don't know if it's this CPU in general or just the board likes to drop channels, so my mounting pressure is optimized for whatever setting does not drop channels rather than good thermals, which is not ideal. Z97 classified. I don't think I've ever seen a score full stop on a Z97 classified, never mind a good one. You don't disagree about hot garbage. Nice. PSC on dice on an EVGA board. That's adventures on so many different levels. I may have to drop my B clock a tiny bit to get my RAM back to passing. This is where you need water blocks. I do have one RAM water block, but I would need 2 for this system, which, yeah. Unfortunately, RAM water blocks are like in this weird twilight zone where nobody needs them, but nobody has them either. So like supply and demand still sort of makes them expensive. You crashed your PC because small PSU. Went okay, like define okay. It didn't blow up. Okay, so mesh didn't help. Let's do 1 and 1.5. We're not in a rush. Let's do 0.5 increments. I'm going to keep harping on about the fact that Intel doesn't even have half multis. You know, I think it's bad enough if a platform only had half multis. I'd be like, okay, that's not ideal. Ryzen has had quarter multis, you know, since 2017. Well, I'd take half multis, but you know, modern Intel still doesn't even have half multis. I wonder how long, like, how much budget, like, how expensive would it be to implement that? It can't be that expensive. It can't be that big of a deal. I don't know how many times I've mentioned this on stream, but B clock does not even begin to compensate for the lack of half multis. When you have your memory exactly dialed in, but your core isn't maximized, what do you do if you only have B clock? You're never gonna. It's so awkward, but you're also never gonna have enough multi-strap memory straps to be able to like juggle everything around. So you're kind of emulating half multis, whereas you could just implement half multis and quarter multis. I can't even begin. You know, I benched Ryzen at launch. This is 6 years now. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've had a platform that had another 25 megahertz in it, but it didn't have like even a single megahertz more memory clock in it. What do you do in that scenario? It's just silly. It's such a like Intel centric viewpoint. It's like, you know, it reminds me of the ILM replacement on LGA 1700. Intel fucked up royally, and people are like, oh yeah, just get a contact frame. To the point that they even released a contact frame for AMD thinking it was necessary when it wasn't. You know, it's just yeah, it's just so funny. Yeah, but you can disable boost. Okay, so the half BCLK helped us. The current best run was 82.9. Let's try 32 mesh again. It's probably not gonna work, but yeah, it is also mainboard dependent. I'm pretty sure it depends on whether the motherboard implements. Isn't there a second strap that's strapped to like 100 BCLK or 133 BCLK? And I think the Asus ones tend to implement 133, which gives you like in between straps. I'm pretty sure my Apex 6 when I was still alive gave me 3600, 3733, 3866, or maybe 3900 and then 4000. But this board doesn't. Okay, let's give it a go. Because 32 flat at 100 BCLK didn't work for me, but maybe 31 at 101.5 will work. Let's see. I mean, after that, I'll try 32, just out of curiosity, but I don't expect any passes. Come on, blur filter. So temp-wise, you get SFFT, DFFT, SGEM, or whatever the next one's called, or the previous one's called. Those are heavy. And then everything else is just a gimme. It does pass, but it's a bad score. Okay, let me just hit rerun. I'm gonna get another beer. I just almost, okay, so that's the same score as before. I almost took my hand out because I made the mistake. Half of the bottles of beer in my fridge at the moment are screw tops and the other aren't. And I keep opening the screw tops with a bottle opener and then seeing that as a screw top and thinking I'm dumb. But now I made the opposite mistake, which is even worse, which is assuming that it's a screw top when it's actually not. And I'm just like, yeah, hurting my hand. Well, there's only one thing to do. It's upping the mesh one more time. A gene for €350. A crosshair gene? Or like whatever the last gene was on the Asus, on the Intel side, which was, I mean, I know there was a Z390 gene, but that's not really all that relevant anymore. I need to enable XOC mode. These slow CPU Z opens are just yeah, annoying the crap out of me. Benching CPU Z. Did it apply, by the way? Yeah, it did. How's that? Is it going to speed up? No. Am I going to quit drinking? AIM5 gene, yeah. I've never used it. At launch I had a Strix and now I have a Tachyon. But it seems to be doing well. Okay, well that's hardly a mistake, a big surprise there. Whoop. $9,700 plus mem score. Yeah, but at 30 degrees ambient, that holds back your mem clocks. May even start holding back my CPU clocks, to be honest. My chiller is sort of struggling to keep the temp that it's set to. All right, tell me what to tighten then. Someone on Discord was nice enough to link this standalone version of MemTweakit because I couldn't get ASRock timing configurator or the bundled MemTweakit working. That's maxed. I tried Raz24 at one point, or P10 I think is a thing on quads, isn't it? Let's try or P10 for shits and giggles. Replace the blue screen with a dancing cat. That'd be nice. .4 volts Cinebench R20 dice. Nice. It's a pretty bad chip. Okay, I need to bake in this change that I made earlier. Doesn't seem to scale much with mesh anyway, right? No. Good airflow. It's never going to beat this Celeron 333 with the desk fan next to it with the case side of the case open from back in the day, right? Three foot tall, nice. Yeah, Win 11 was just an experiment. It's good to have a decently stripped OS around, even if for this platform and bench config it's probably not ideal. How are our CPU Z opens? Still slow. Yeah. Almost normal. Almost. Our Encore is where we want it, like right 31.5 or something. Yeah, okay. Thanks for the sub, Paul. September is over, but still very much appreciate it. Oh, thanks for the screenshot of the sub timings. I'll probably just copy those. I'll go with the water score, which I believe is this 4.75. 232 RFC, interesting. I wasn't aware that it tightened so much. Like quad is funny. Quad leads to some timings going tighter, like RP and RFC. It's funny how that works. P100. Oh, so those are workstation GPUs. What do? Do you do like machine learning or something? Or like modeling, 3D modeling? It passes, but it scores crap. Okay, maybe there's one CPU mult in it. Thailand OGS. Let's apply some stuff. This weird tabbed approach as well is just a bit. I mean, did that apply? Yeah. I know 5 definitely failed. Not even sure if I tried 4.9. Maybe 4.860 will run. Just a little bit worried about thermals. A singing AI. Isn't there enough bad singing in the world already? If it sells, I guess. More power to you. Yeah, yeah. I'll definitely go through those timings, but we've breached the 30-degree mark, I think. I don't know if that's even showing up. Yeah, vaguely. And it's a Lua hang. Okay. The only thing I don't know is if I can manually tune the RTLs on this. I don't even know where to look for them. Okay, my patience is worn out. I'm giving it a little hard reset. Screw waiting on Windows. RTP 10. Okay. Yeah, usually RTLs. I mean, even RTLs on KBX is not easy. Yeah, my keyboard is dead again. Okay. RTP 10 was fine. RCD 12. I guess, yeah. RAS 28, CAS RDs are 4, that's expected. Where's our CWL? You're at 12. Let's just do that. Or C. Okay, let's go to tertiaries. Keyword is still dead. I don't think XP does very much. It's not listed anyway. CCD. That's a 6. You can't key in manually on this bias either. CCD WR is 4, but we'll just set it anyway. CCDL 6, so that's a little bit tighter. CCD regular is 4, well that's fine. RWSW. Can't say I'm familiar with that timing. RWSR I see. RWSR, okay. RWSR is 8, so that's the biggest tightening so far. WRDD is a 3, okay. WRDR is a 4. RWDD is a 3 apparently. RWDR also a 3. WWDD a 2. WWDR RDD 4. RDR also a 3. I'm gonna bother with KE. I suppose I will because it's from 10 to 5. What about our WTRs? Why haven't I set those yet? So L is the 8. And S. I don't see it in the ASRock timing configurator, but I think it's a safe bet to just say that's going to be a 4 or maybe a 3, but there's a VCC SA and a separate. I'll see how this goes. Those postcode displays are best in the business. 4 digits total, nice bright white rather than like a green or whatever. Then you've got your hard drive activity right there. It's pretty nice. SA offset. Okay, I'll try that next. What do I throw in there? Like 100 millivolts or something? 200 millivolts? Let's see. I guess timing configurator will give me the RTLs. 51, 53, 51, 53. That's correct. That's kind of what we want. What are IOLs? Ooh, see, that's down to 8 in your screenshot. We have 8s here as well, so that's good. Some CPUs scale really high with uncore offset. I'm guessing you mean the IMC does, not the cores, right? Okay, I'll have a look next. So 250, okay, sounds good. This weird issue I had previously on streams, and I don't know how much it really showed up on the live stream itself, but I could see it in my OBS preview window, was that the face cam for whatever reason had a slight sort of hitch to it, like a slight stutter to it. And when I ran the kind of telemetrics or whatever it's called in OBS, one of the things it pointed out was that my iGPU was slightly too slow, maybe because I was using the iGPU as my display out, and OBS is actually surprisingly heavy on GPU utilization. Even though it does the encoding on the CPU, the GPU is used for the so-called compositing, which is combining all the different inputs. And for whatever reason, the only place it really showed up was in the face cam. I'm not seeing that stutteriness now, but I just sort of wonder, it could have been like a Windows update or something. But the RX 5600 OEM that I bought for Team Cup is now in the streamer and doing display out, which is obviously a bit beefier than the 5700G iGPU. Yeah, I'll start off at plus 250. So when you mean IMC, I mean, what are you going to get out of it? Is it frequency or tighter timings or better stability at a certain set of timings and frequency? Like, what kind of improvement would you expect? Like, would you see a system that can post 4000 but can post 3800 to suddenly be able to post 4000, or is that expecting a bit too much? Where are we at? 82.8 8. So it's really, the timings haven't helped at all, which is kind of surprising. I mean, they've helped a bit, but tied TRCD. But I sort of wonder where tied TRCD really helps. I mean, it would help in Y Cruncher and 32M, but you know, in terms of the more common benches like Cinebench, GPU Pi, X265. Because if there's, I'm not accusing anyone of doing this, but if there's one thing I hate in benching is this kind of like screenshot porn. It's like, look at me, I have 20k memory score in Geekbench 3, but if you ran full run, it might actually not even be that good. Because high memory score actually hurts overall score in quite a few different cases. Or like this thing where people are like, look, I'm running CAS 5 on cold PSC or whatever, but it doesn't help the bench in most cases. Five millivolt, that's pretty, it's pretty tight tolerances right there. Okay, I'm gonna give it a quick. What I do like about the DAC is how many profiles it has. I know on other boards you can save to USB and there's various workarounds, but just having so many profiles out of the box is pretty sweet. Okay, so I'm gonna first, so it's Encore is, it's funny that Encore is is the IMC voltage. Okay, let's apply 250 and see what happens. 1.2 V mesh. Okay. I do probably have to up my V in. 1.9 is on the very low side of things, but upping V in does tend to make thermals ever so slightly worse, which I don't know how much I can afford that really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop mesh 1, I'm going to drop core 1, and I'm going to really try to push memory frequency. So 102, let's just go 103. That's not insanely high. I will apply the 1.2 V mesh as well though. I don't know why that would be the case. Because I interrupted boot. You know, my favorite icon in WhatsApp is the shrugging man like that. The older I get, the more I use those kind of icons, emoticons. Why? Okay, let's give it a clear CMOS. That sometimes helps. Load VGA bias, nice. You've got a Rampage 6 Extreme? Hardly anyone has one of those. Does it? I always forget to check. The funny thing about this chip was when I bought it, okay, so it doesn't show as an ES. Because when I bought it, the seller sold it to me with a custom copper IHS, which is obviously blank and doesn't have any identifying marks on the top. And then the spare IHS he sent and said that's the original, just in case you need it, was, if I remember right, an ES IHS, which really confused me. Because, you know, a random seller on eBay doesn't just, you know, maybe in the US they would, but in Australia it wouldn't just randomly have a 7980XE ES. So then, okay, so the chip is an ES, but then where did that IHS come from? Okay, let's go back to what we had. Just have a quick look around, make sure that everything's applied as... No, it's not. Okay, so I didn't save it. Okay. vMesh override. Oh god, my keyboard is totally dead. Come on, just give me keyboard input. Oh, this is painful. Let's do it. EVGA. Let's save the profile. I'll only have to do it once. This is riveting entertainment right here. Oh, where am I going to stop? The suspense. I wonder where it's going to happen. Boom. Okay. That's 10 seconds of my life I'll never get back. Oh god, okay. Let's go to T250. Oh, Cody, yeah, I remember that. Whatever I do, let's make sure to save after I've set these two voltages. Okay. Save profile, Geekbench new, back into OC. One down on the mesh. One down on the core. And no offsets. 103 on the B clock. Double check our timings. That looks all right. Oh, I didn't want to fucking rename it. Ugh. Come on. Just do the thing that you're doing. Whatever. Yeah. Sounds great. -1 volt. Zero 0.440 encore. 1.25 IO. That's the thing with these exos, like these HEDT platforms, right? So many little minor voltages to play with. Oh, the dreaded EE, right? Or 33. EE. No, it's an EE. Get used to it. Yeah. Seems like it just needed a retry. D5 62. Okay, I got the speaker. What the hell? These voltages are supposed to help me overclock. All I've done is, okay, I am at 103 BCLK, so let's maybe ratchet back our expectations a little bit. And I did 102 earlier with better ambient, so I should be happy with 102.5 now with better voltages. This is the worst thing about overclocking is boards don't consistently have a direct to bias button, so you're just spend years of your life mashing delete and it not doing anything because there's about a 1 second window where it actually registers the key press, or it might hang on a postcode because of too much pressing of the button. Yeah, but not every bias has the delay option either. That's a whole other can of worms. Okay, I got there. Let's quickly work this out. So 3800 strap at 103 BCLK is 3914. That is getting up there. So let's do 102.5. What's happening now? Why is it A6ing? I'm not even like targeting anything too spectacular here. That's the thing with these kind of platforms, is like, yeah, certain voltages should help you do certain things, but sometimes it's like literally worse. Okay, well it did clear. Increase encore, as in encore the voltage. Okay. Okay, let's load up the same profile. Go back in here. I'm gonna try and reduce my pain by going 350. That's full 100 millivolts more. I think that's a pretty solid increase. Why you no work? IO is still stuck. I guess that's the next thing I try. But I do have like a philosophical problem with. All I'm trying to do is get like a half BCLK overclock out of it. Yet it involves me fine tuning 3 voltages. I'm like, the cost benefit analysis there is pretty bad. Like in that time, I could have probably just reran the bench 20 times and gotten a better score that way. D5. That's looking like a cleaner post. Maybe it's just wishful thinking, but let's see. But why the weird hang on A2? Oh, that's just what happens when it's on. See, a lot of older boards hang on this splash screen. So I don't like the fact that the newer OSs use that splash screen as part of their boot process. Okay, that did something. I don't know if it's going to be enough to pass the bench, but it did do something. I will acknowledge that. Is that a reflect? Let's. Oh, not that I would necessarily want to tweak these voltages in OS. That's got its own drawbacks. But are they exposed in here? Okay, so IO stock, PCH is useless. DIM. There's pros and cons as to, you know, whether or not DIM tuning really works in OS for particular platforms. Should I be touching SA? So mesh is exposed, but Encore isn't. Okay, well, thanks VJ for nothing, I guess. SA, so yeah, I do remember that part, that there was one voltage that was KBX specific. Okay, cool. I don't want to fail for mesh, so I'm gonna double check my mesh. Mesh is fine. I have all my channels. Things are kind of going in the right direction here. Maybe. PFN less corrupt. Let's try 102. I did tighten tertiary since that 102 pass earlier and better ambient. Yeah, I think the next step would be to go 12 12 10 rather than 12 11 10. But let's first try to get a 102 out. I'm gonna have to switch my fucking keyboard away from PS2, haven't I? What am I doing? I reloaded the 103 profile. I forgot I did that. I didn't realize I did that. Well, then the next step is going to be 102.5. More VDIM, but doesn't that cause its own stability issues? I always the sort of common perception was always that you couldn't blast VDIM as much on X299 as you could on the other platforms because it's quad channel. TRCD. But yeah, I think maybe 50 millivolts more is something worth trying. How is reducing BCLK causing a blue screen? So funny. So I may as well I kind of log into this bloody thing. No, I'm not creating an account. I want to log into an account. Order status. Okay, here we go. This is the kit. 169 Aussie. Like $100. You can't really complain for that. Okay. I think a lot of these hard crashes are not having a very beneficial effect on my OS, so I'm gonna boot in at stock to recover the OS, then reapply my OC and maybe go from there. I don't know, the sticks just arrived. I don't know what they would do dual channel for 4,000. But I'm not doing 4,000 quad. I'm not even like, I'm trying to do 3,900 quad. Or just 3866 to be realistic about it. But yeah, point taken. I mean, the 103 that I had there wasn't looking that bad, so I'm gonna first attempt 102.5. Then give it another 50 millivolts on the VDIM. Okay, let's first check that we actually... Oh no, this was the boot to recover the OS, so we should be at stock now, and we should do a clean reboot. That's the only problem with Win 10 and 11. They're not as overclocking friendly. Oh, and it's showing 20 degrees because it's booting at stock volts. Okay, this time I'm gonna remember to hit the delete at the appropriate moment in the space-time continuum. Okay. Okay, so I think the keyboard will just literally never work again. Oh, it even even gives me an affirmative little beep when I insert a keyboard. That's very nice of it. Thanks, good guy EVGA. Okay. Okay, back to this. Let's once again focus. And we'll be able to type in our offset. Happy days. There we go. Yeah, beeps are great. All right. What's gonna happen this time? I'm waiting with bated breath as my second beer runs out. $30 on Geekbench. That's a fair amount of time to spend. Yeah, I was saying it on the Discord if people didn't see it. I was pleasantly surprised with how well my Duras held. It's kind of given me a fresh perspective on when to buy LN2 and how long to keep it around and how to organize my bench sessions. So let me look back at my texts. This is a Zenfone 10, by the way. It's a really nice small screen phone that I bought recently. Let me look back at text with my LN2 guy. Monday the 10th of July, I bought 95 liters, and I think Saturday night or maybe Sunday night, so it was officially October, so it lasted from July to October, with very little loss actually. July, August, September, October, 3 months. So it kind of makes me want to get more Dewars and like get like 200 liters and just keep it around for longer, but maybe that's not the greatest thing. Like my price is like a combined delivery plus LN2 price, but the LN2 aspect of it really isn't, you know, the delivery aspect of the overall price isn't that big, so I shouldn't really be thinking in reduced number of deliveries, especially now that I live outside the city and it's much easier for me to just the LN2 guy is in my area every 2 weeks, so it's not as much of an incentive, I guess, to get bigger deliveries. But I just like the idea of, like, now I'm out of LN2 and there's certain things I want to do, like bin 2 3900Xs. I don't know, it would just be nice to have another 35 liters sitting around just waiting for me to formulate kind of a bench plan of how to use those up. I mean, actual Chad, what does Chad mean? Okay, so we've now graduated on from a blue screen or hard hang to an in-OS fail, which tends to be when Geekbench is close to passing, in my opinion, my experience. But yeah, the guy comes around on a day that I work from the office, so it's like I just leave the doers outside, and you know, don't tell anyone, but I just put cash underneath the door for him to pick up for the cost of the delivery. But I live in the countryside. Who's really going to do anything? People are probably just going to pass by and be like, "What are those metal things?" I'm not going near those. They look weird. So it's no big deal, you know. Okay, I said the next thing I was going to try was 1.85 dim, and so it shall be. Yeah, the Zen is expensive for what it is, but then again, it is still like 33% cheaper than a um, Apple. I previously had a Motorola, which is like a 6.5 inch screen. This is a 5.9, and it's just perfect for single hand sort of operation. And it comes in lots of nice little sort of colors, but the front of it like dominates. You know, the color is really only just that back little plate. But size wise, it's perfect. Performance wise, it's great. It's got, I think my previous phone was a 90 hertz screen, and this now is 120 or 144. So that's a nice improvement. It's still the same aspect ratio, 21:9, I think is the common ratio. I don't know. What do you want to know about it? It's. I mean, it hurt buying it because it was over 1,000 Aussie dollars, but it's like there's nothing else like it, you know. So let's just quickly double check our VDM and Elite. Yeah, I only buy 35 liter Dewars. That is the sweet spot. 10s, 15, 18s, 20s lose a lot of LN2 relative to a 35, and a 50 I just can't lift. I already have a bad back. There's just no point. Okay, so that applied, and it's showing. That's funny. That like difference between the two channels. It's quite interesting. That's a lot. Yeah, 100 is really nice. I originally had a single 35, which lets you do like a good chunk of benching. Like a 35 is a good solid start. I can't remember what order I bought my Brewers in. I might have gotten my 18 liter next. I found a 10 liter super cheap for like $50 or something, so that's why I got that. So I have a 10, an 18, and two 35s. So it's like whatever, 95 liters, 100 liters, something along those lines, and it's a lot. It's a lot. Even if I go totally hardcore and bench every single day, I tend to take at least 2 weeks. Like let's say like 10 days to 2 weeks to finish it all, and then I'm totally knackered, totally over benching, I need a break. Whereas now I you know, there's tons of different reasons I didn't bench in the middle of Team Cup there. It passed, but it scored worse, which is not exactly unexpected considering our mesh and core are down. Okay, let's just give a quick sort of out of curiosity type run with mesh and core up 1. But the real next test will be 103 B clock. So VDM did help, so that's good. Boom, boom, apply. That applied. It still hasn't applied. Ah, there you go, finally. Okay, let's go. My 10 liter is perfect. I got it from a doctor's office. It was like, I don't know if you guys have, like, I think Craigslist isn't as big in the US as it used to be, but in Australia we have this buy and sell site called Gumtree, and I bought it from Gumtree, and it's like 10 liters tend to basically cost the same as like a 25 liter. Okay, I'll just drop Encore. But so you're talking like 300, 400 Aussie dollars. But this lady was like a doctor and just wanted it gone. Like she was probably just on the verge of just like putting it in the bin, you know? And it was 50 Aussie dollars, and I met her at like a small neighborhood kind of like shopping center mall type place, and she's like, here you go, and I'm like, oh, here's your $50 note, thanks so much. And it's like an immaculate condition 10 liter Taylor Wharton. Those things go for serious cash. Like for people who actually need that capacity, they're pretty much willing to pay as much as someone is willing to pay for a 35. It's crazy. I mean, there's certain scenarios where 10. I just like 10 liter is like a prelude. You know, like when I get my delivery, I always use my dewars in the order of their size. So I finish the 10 liter first, then the 18, then the 235s. You know, using the one with the worst vacuum, even though I think they both have good vacuums first, and then the one with the bad vacuum or best vacuum last. But that 10 liter, that first session, I usually get 2 sessions out of it. And at the start of a fill up, you tend to have a couple of things lined up that you've like pre-tested more than everything else. Um, so it's nice because you tend to get really good results out of those 10 liters. Whereas by the end of the 35 liters, you're like, or the 100 liters, you're like, ugh, what am I going to use this remaining LN2 for? You're going to use a dewar for dice. First time I hear about that. I suppose it works. Wouldn't the hard dice kind of scrape the inside of the dewar though? Yeah, 2 liter dewars for $300 US. That's crazy. Craziness. Okay, let's just make sure that we resave our profile. Boom. Yeah, oh my, I mean, when you're talking double teaming, like when there's like two people on a rig and stuff, it's a whole different dynamic. But when it's literally just me lifting all the dewars, tipping all the dewars, filling all the thermos flasks, doing all the pouring into the pot, and driving the rig, there's just only so much of a good thing that you can take, basically. Oh, I mean, Team Australia has gone through 3,000 liters in a week before. That's a whole different thing. But yeah, single person it gets tough. Yeah, but even motherfuck. Even if there's two people benching, but one person does all the work, you still sort of get encouragement and like tips and things from the other person. I still think it helps motivate. How's our in-room going? 31 degrees. Nice and balmy. Free sauna in here. Okay. Give it a boot. Yeah, channel drops. I mean, all quad channel platforms are susceptible to channel drops, a lot more so than dual channel. Um, but I find on X299 it's not been as bad, but it's all so dependent on clean slots, clean RAM, and clean socket and correct mounting pressure. Whereas I feel like on X99 I would get channel drops more so when I was pushing the RAM, um, even if I was pushing the core sometimes. It's totally different on that platform. Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying, you know, the it's the tendency on this platform is for it to be from, you know, other factors. Back of the CPU as well, actually. Like if your gold contacts are a bit gone and stuff. What was I doing? I was trying to get 103, but my OS fucked up. So now I want to set 103 again. So SA is the one that doesn't do anything, and IO is the one that maybe I should push a bit. Oh yeah, stick order means you know, is significant, both in terms of initial detection and how long it's gonna go before you drop. Sweet, I'm looking forward to that new RAM now. I've had a love-hate, well, mostly a hate-hate relationship with DDR5. Yeah, inner versus outer, yeah. That's a big thing. So do wall posts still make sense? Yeah, so this, if I'm gonna, I had a ball of a time benching this Ryzen 5900X on my new Crosshair formula, which replaces so many other boards that have died, including a Unify X B550, as I just get a reboot. Oh no, that's not postcodes coming past. That is actually just temp display. Let's double check what we've trained up. I should hit up Lumi. Lumi's one of the last remaining X299 warriors. So here's the SPD, by the way. Unfortunately, week and year are not programmed into it. But 3600 means it's not absolutely ancient. I'm pretty sure it being A00, it would be on the older side, but not OG levels. Mixed A0 and A2. That's hard mode right there. Yeah, Bob NZ has a dark. He actually recommended this board to me. I've been through a little bit of a journey with X299. The original board I bought was an Apex 6. Then I bought an OC Formula. I'm trying to remember what my rationale was behind buying an OC Formula. I think it was, at the time, X299 with the KBX chip was the single-threaded 3D platform, as we hang on Jixtra. I might loosen RP or whatever it's called next. So I had some sort of vague notion that, because I was trying to do dual card 03 and 01 and 05 and 06, and I thought that the OC Formula might assign the PCI lanes a little bit more generously than the Apex, because the Apex, there's like a detection mechanism in it to say this is a KBX chip rather than a Skylake X chip, and it just like does weird shit like it. I think it only gives, even though I can't remember what it was, but I bought the OC Formula in some vain hope. RCD, I meant, is what I'm going to loosen up. That it might do better in 3D, but it didn't. So the OC Formula, I think I bent a pin on that. The Apex just became, did it have that USB overvoltage issue? Basically both boards ended up half dead, so I sold them to Zorok. I think one of them ended up with liquid metal in the socket. I'm telling you guys, the like daily OC stuff like liquid metal, delidding, as I get another freaking blue screen, liquid metal, delidding solar CPUs, all that jazz. It's so scary to me. I'd rather full pot a chip and give it 2 volts than do any of that. Higher frequency. Refresh Zeus. What was that called again? It was called the Apex Omega or something like that. Oh yeah, the refresh boards. It was the same thing on Threadripper, like the Zenith 2 did much better on RAMOC than the Zenith 1. So many boards for such an unpopular platform, it's kind of funny. Alright, we're gonna boot OS, then reboot again, then reapply our settings, then loosen that one timing. Yeah, the VRM was only in 8 phase or something, right? A lot of people blew their VRMs. Yeah, it was an awesome platform. I kind of wish that refresh hadn't been cancelled. You know, if maybe 10 nanometer had gotten in under control ever so slightly earlier, then Intel may have released a refresh on 10 nanometer on the same socket. I mean, it was still would have sucked, but for benching, it could have been fun. Low profile. All right, let's do the dance again. 103 and loosen. No. I kind of miss the X platforms. They were always fun. X58, well, X38, X48, X58, X79, X99, X299. Just in a side shot here, does anyone remember that competition? This is years back when Christian Ney was still uh, he was still active as a bencher and still a mod, and it was like lowest CPZ valid, and I think he did like a 6 megahertz or 10 megahertz, something along those lines. Country, I'm trying to find it. Switzerland. Damn it. Okay, we're actually in OS with our actual settings now, and we're gonna take a shot at trying to pass the bench again. So our TRCD is loosened out a bit. We're still at 103. We should still be at 1.85 VDIM, and we're gonna go to town now. Well, which will probably just be a fail. Okay. Oh, I can search by, that's right, I can search both by CPU frequency. Okay, that didn't pass. Let's just give it one rerun. If I search the database and I set score to below 100 megahertz rather than frequency. God, there's so many people in the database who are just subbing the wrong thing. Like they claim a certain score, but it's not. It's just incorrect. We have a score, but it sucks. That's disappointing. Highest mem score. I guess this one 9.6, something like that. 9.8. 9.8. Okay. I'm gonna attempt to apply a higher B clock. Overclocking. Where's up here? Okay. This tool just totally blows, guys. I'm sorry. There's no redeeming qualities whatsoever. It exists. That's its redeeming quality. Yeah, but 5 gigahertz, I'm quite far away from 5 gigahertz. And this is not the optimal OS. Yeah, so the score I was looking at earlier, I found it a bit surprising actually that the pot on let's boot 103.5 next. The pot wouldn't keep up on 7-zip, but I think 6G through PiFast is quite nice. I'm happy with that. I just enabled the first 4 cores and tried 2 different cores in there, so there may very well be better cores further on somewhere. I also did a 32M, and I just love, it's not the same through Benchmade, but I just love 32M just in general. And I managed to, oh yeah, let's just try, let's try if it's gonna pass 1.9 VDIM. This was a Country Cup stage, I believe 3 years ago. So Sebi and Ginger's score are from that Country Cup. What was it? 2021. So 2 years ago. And I was next to this rig as it was being benched. This, can you even see my pointer? I suppose you can. This I had torn down here, but this was my benching position, so I was literally just, we were even sharing PSUs for our fans and shit. And it was a good score. This was a different chip. This was Ginger Nuts' chip, and I think the chip that I've now got is better because 5.7 is pretty weak sauce. I mean, obviously, like 1800, 12, 11, 9 is pretty gosu, but yeah, it's good for what it is. But at the time, the US did pip us on that one SKU with, I think, just more core. So 100 more core, more everything. Like managed to somehow do a 2000 FCLK, which I think is still, to me, that's still a bit of a dark art. Okay, let's try 103 at 1.9 VDIM first. Then if that works, try 103.5. Yes, I think in terms of efficiency, I mean, there's very little in it. This is a 5049. This is a 509. Yeah, I don't know. They're pretty much the same, but I managed to beat both. But I do have better core, so I'm not claiming any good efficiency whatsoever. But it was just a quick run. So I managed 5.9. I did give 5.6, or sorry, 6 a quick go, which, yeah, the way pipe fast goes these days, I think you could sort of argue that pipe fast is almost a heavier bench than 32M on these platforms. Yeah, I mean, RAM was holding me back a bit. I couldn't get 1900 stable through 32M, but I would imagine this chip would do 6G, and I do want to do, I have a 3600 6G run. Obviously 6G wasn't a thing on the second gen, but I would like to break all the barriers, you know, do was it sub 6 minutes or something on third gen, then sub 5 minutes and 6G on this gen, and then whatever the 7000 series equivalent is, as we tick past 10 at night. I will try. Let's just double check our settings. We don't want to be running things that we think we're running but we aren't. I will do a quick GPU pi after this. Maybe even outside Benchmade. No, I think that's a bit too. We do need the OpenCL tweaks. Which I haven't even looked at the rankings. "49 seconds, I like it." On Chiller. First place is on Chiller. Ooh la la. So I guess Ova's like 1 minute would be a good target. And he is running, just to double check that the tweaks are the same as on other platforms. Can you hide tweaks on the current version of Benchmade? I didn't think that was a thing. When's this up from? 2021. Okay, so that's not relevant. We want a current. There is none. Fun. Maybe Joe BR, even though he is obviously mis-subbed. Okay, so let's look at Joe BR. What's he at? He's win 11 as well. Okay, same tweaks. Love 16. That actually doesn't sound familiar, but I'll copy his settings. I'll be a copycat. We were gonna look at our VDIM. So we're 103 flat now. If this passes, I'll try 103.5. You need OT. More loop unrolling. I'm going to have a cold drink when I end the stream, because the end of that beer was certainly not cold anymore. It's been a fun stream though. I always get less done than I aim for in these streams, but as long as everyone's having fun, I think that's the main thing. And we did learn some things about the importance of uncore voltage for memory overclocking on X299. It appears. Yeah. And I've now got a screenshot to copy off of for subtimings. Thanks for that. Ray trace, stream copy, we're nearly there. Let's do it. I would expect more than 1.9. It's not really conducive to anything. So let's cap it at that for VDEM. And let's see if we can get more B clock out of it. And then I just run off of GPU Pi just for the feel of it, because I love GPU Pi. Next stream, I do want to rerun my quad for GPU Pi, the 5300G. That might be a bit boring though. Let's see. Yeah, I won't quibble about 15 millivolts. I think 1.9 should be fine for what we're trying to do. Why is it doing a massive retrain for 0.5 B clock? I already don't like where this is going. Cezanne is not boring. Thanks for your vote of confidence, Zust. Ah, sugar. There we go. Now you'll have pretty little icons next to your name that mean nothing, but good decoration when you're chatting. I mean, I jest. It does mean something, but you know, in the grand scheme of things. We already checked our B clock. Let's just run and be happy. I am looking forward to. It's still running. It's great. Going into the other room where there's some aircon. Maybe just open it. Maybe even just opening up the windows at this point in the night. What am I doing? Let's keep a track of our temps here. It's edging towards 32 degrees, but I won't call it 32 degrees yet. Well, if this passes, next thing I'll have to retighten TRCD, right? Only problem with Cezanne is I have cold bugs on both my chips. I've got a 5300G and a 5350GE, but neither of them will full pot. Okay, so we've got a pass, but it's like, yeah, but we're still not at the core clocks we had earlier. Let's keep pushing it. But after that, I think I'm out. I could try the 11 TRCD and then just GPU Pi, and then we'll be done. It's been fun though. I feel like I learned a bit about this platform. Man, I need to go back to X79 and 99. I really like IVX. Oh, sorry, Ivy Bridge E. Sunny Bridge E, not so much. It's a bit too similar to regular Sunny Bridge, and it's never really a good thing. Yeah, my Black Edition I think dropped the channel as well. So I have a pretty decent 4820K. I was never able I really wanted to bend through 4930Ks because that's a lot of harbor points, but I was never able to find them in volume, and they're still expensive now on like AliExpress and that kind of thing. So I only have a 4820K. I had a 4960K that was a terrible bin. I've got a couple of random Xeons, and then I obviously made the mistake of trying to bin through 3930Ks, which is just a terrible idea. I at one point had a 3970X that died, I believe, from too much VCore on chiller, something like that. Lube leak on a black edition. It's all kinds of fun. Let's do it. Here's, oh, is it a Shahang? Oh, it almost looked like a Shahang. So here are loops. So I'll copy his batch and reduction and his tweaks, and I'll just bang out a couple of GPU pies. I don't want to jinx it. I'm not going to say anything related to this run. Even saying I don't want to jinx it, jinx the run. Just give it a quick rerun. Funny thing is, my score hasn't improved in 2 hours of streaming. I've learned a lot. Like, I've probably picked up some little hints and tweaks and stuff that, you know, I know my chip better now. But purely in terms of actually increasing the Geekbench 3 score, it's just flatlined for 2 hours. It's kind of funny. Okay, come on, Jigstra. You can do it. It's looking like a soft hang. It's a soft hang. GPU pie time. Where's my benching USB stick? Okay. Let's just give it a quick go. Not three utilities, but 2 utilities, and then it's benchmate. And it is 11.1, is it not? Do something. Yep, I think, threat found. Come on, don't tell me that. Just install the fucking thing. Okay, I guess I gotta. There's some way to disable that permanently, but you know. It's doing something. Yay. Signs of life. God, I hate Benchmate. I've got a special place in my, it's like whatever the opposite of special place in my heart is, that's what I've got for Benchmate. A special place in my guts. I don't know what I don't know what the opposite would be. Okay, meanwhile, let's extract this bullshit. Okay, never had that error before. If not, I'll copy a fresh version of Benchmade over to the USB and copy that over to the local. Okay. There's nothing worse than installing benches. I mean, installing Benchmade obviously is even worse than installing a bench, straight up. But so often it fails. I made it in 40 seconds left. I don't know why. Why is this download so slow? Hot damn. Nothing's ever easy. I thought I had it on my NAS. Doesn't look so. Like I do. Okay, it's almost halfway done. Has everyone recovered from Team Cup? Okay, I'm going to install OpenCL because I feel like it should be. It's not ideal, but why is there no right click run as? Oh, there is. Okay. What did that do? Seven-zip got globals but didn't get a speed up. GPUPie got had globals already but got a speed up. Y Cruncher got a speed up but it had globals already. I guess 7-zip could be a good fallback option if we really can't get GPUPie to cooperate. There was a question in a group chat. I mean, what was the first album you ever bought? You know, for me, it might have been the Armageddon soundtrack, believe it or not. Just don't take my 7-zip globals. Ah, 200k, of course. I just did 188k on a 2 on a 12 core. Surely 200k is possible. It scales pretty okay with threads, doesn't it? I just did this. Where are we at? I see 188, and that's only at 5.75. It's not amazing or anything. System's still loading. It must really struggle with the maximum set. Oh, God, just fucking do the fucking thing. It's not rocket science. Okay, I'm giving it a reboot. Just to save my sanity. 197. It's so interesting that I thought 7-zip liked memory frequency and was pretty well threaded, but if we compare here, I mean, we're talking 24 versus 36 threads. That's a pretty big difference, and you're telling me it's only an extra 100 like 10k ambient. And like my memory isn't anything to write home about. 1800 sync F clock. But I mean, it's going to be, is it even going to be worth running? Like first globally might only be 75 points or something. I don't even bother with LN2 for 75 globals. Okay, we've rebooted. I'm gonna disable real-time protection. God, like whenever you say quick GPU Pi, you just cursed yourself. Why is there no right-click paste anymore? Fucking Windows 11. What a total piece of shit OS. Your FE and 7-zip is worse. Please, when I double click on something, install the goddamn fucking thing. Instead of just spinning like a fucking idiot. What is going on? Okay, I saw the little pop-up thingy. Extracting files from archive. This shouldn't take this long. Are we further? Oh, fuck me. Is it something really, really dumb like system date? What is it today? The 3rd of October. I just re-downloaded this. It's not like file integrity or whatever. Well, that was quicker. Is that a good thing? Who knows? Who knows? This is Benchmate we're talking about. Component registration seems like a new thing, but oh, fuck me. What can you even run outside of Benchmate anymore? A quick Cinebench 20, I guess. Jesus, it's just total embarrassment for the XOC community, this Benchmate bullshit. It gets better every day. Just gets better every day. I already thought it was like really, really bad, but it's worse now. Yeah, but okay, my time is like 1 hour off or something, but okay, maybe let's just humor it one last time. One last time. Change. It's not 11 p.m. It's 10 p.m. So I should be able to change this to 10. Oh fuck. Okay is usually on the right hand side. I'm not imagining things. This is just Windows 11 being awkward again. This is a fresh from ISO Win 11. If a fresh from ISO Win 11 with a fresh from download latest version Benchmade doesn't just gel immediately, then there's something wrong in this world. No, just not happening. Okay. I'm gonna re-enable all the services. That's the last thing that I'm doing for Benchmade. Yeah, but it's just why though? It's just extracting stuff. Can't it just have its own fork of 7-zip just roll into the installer or something? It's not rocket science. Maybe my memoc is causing Benchmade install to fail. Yeah, but I give up. Okay. A quick clear CMOS into OS, attempt to install Benchmade, otherwise run Cinebench 20, and then go. What's 2024 like actually in terms of what OC it requires and all that? Yeah, but the Windows installer service is enabled, so whatever. There's no reasoning with Benchmade. It's just dumb. I think we have officially hit 32 degrees at almost 11 o'clock at night. 32 degrees in the bench room. You gotta love it. Okay, come on OS. I expect great things from you. Come on. Oh yeah, my password has to be changed. The funny thing is when those password change prompts come, they still accept an empty password. And previously there was no password set, so it's doubly hilarious. Because it's sort of trying to enforce some sort of policy, but the policy seems to be meaningless because you can go from no password to empty password. Okay, did something else there. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Yay, we're once again extracting files from the archive. This is riveting. When's my vinyl getting here? That's what I'm really interested in. Come on, FedEx. Do it. By Tuesday. Well, considering it's in Sydney already. Okay, I give up. I totally give up. I'm doing a non-Benchmade at Cinebench 20. Yeah, but Cinebench 20 at least gets global, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do 103B clock. Watch my temps and see how I go with smashing the delete button. A6 we should have. Okay, gonna load my profile, gonna have a quick look around. Seems fine. Any good subs recently while we wait? Of course, Splave with the chiller sub, I guess, or maybe even air. Ah, it doesn't say. So what's optimal for Carrizo? Luff 3. Sync RAM. Very loose RAM actually. Maybe it's just a weird sandbag for 5th place for whatever reason. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep playing with this system. Tomorrow there's gonna be a temperature drop, so I'll make some sort of attempt at Y Crunch and 7-zip, and then maybe move on to Carrizo, because 100 points for an ambient sub. Motherfucking asshats. Yeah, I'll just go to 100 B clock. 3800 RAM, 1.9 VDIM, and then afterwards, if I really feel like it, I could do a rerun of, you know, a 48 ratio instead of 47 or something. What part of Canada are you in, by the way, Exa, if you don't mind saying? Been to Canada 3 times, or 4 times even? Yeah, I've been 4 times. Oh, West Coast, nice. I might be going there next year, actually. I've only been to West Coast once for a long weekend, coming from Seattle. But I've done Montreal twice, Toronto once. Why did I... Did I already do my little sanity boot? I'm losing track of stuff. Okay. I think it's just definitely going to be no more benches after this. Just the really safe Cinebench 20 run, just to see how things are panning out. Grab my little measly little 20 globes or something. Ugh. Okay. Come on, OS. Okay. Gonna go into OS. Do my reboot. Apply a conservative profile, do the run, and be happy. Yeah, when I was there, I didn't do much. Hung around Vancouver, went up to Whistler. This was summertime though. I think it might have been June or something. Okay, no, it's fucking booting OS again. I need automation. Just like people keep talking about AI and automation, but the only automation I need is direct to BIOS. Okay. Enter setup. Load profile. Drop up this. I'm going to be a little bit greedy and up that. Go 100 B clock. Save. Cinebench 20. And be happy. Yeah, I hate skiing. So, mountain, like hikes and things in the summer in Whistler, much preferable to whatever nonsense goes on there in the winter with skiing and snowboarding and all that stuff. 2.5 hours. I didn't think it would go on this long. But okay. We're nearing some sort of conclusion. I don't know if it's going to be a failed Cinebench run or it's going to be a score. But things are happening. I feel like I don't even want to say I don't want to jinx it, because even saying I don't want to jinx it seems to jinx things sometimes. Yeah, time sync, absolutely. I mean, X58 in some ways is even worse. Some of the stuff going on there with Encore and all that, it's pretty wacky. Tri-channel. Okay. Have we applied the OC that we think we've applied? Do we have a working copy of Cinebench 20? Why is it... Oh, see, they changed the icon, so I can't even see that it's still in an archive. That's okay. I suppose it reduces the chance of real-time protection intervening. Time sync, but fun platform. Worst is time syncs that are not fun platforms. That's what really sucks. And what ships do you have? Do you have just the 18 core or something else as well? Okay. Launch. Please. Yes. I gladly accept those terms. We have a rendering. Miracles do happen, but we're at 104 degrees, so I don't know if the score is going to be any good. That's a lot. That could very possibly be thermal throttling. $10.6K. Doesn't appear to be as bad of a score as you might imagine. Oh, okay. Where are we at? We're at 4.7. Yeah, 10.8, 10.6 is... Okay. I'm gonna save it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm literally just gonna go into BIOS. I'm gonna drop the vCore 25 millivolts. I'm gonna do a rerun. Maybe it's like 2 reruns, but I'm not gonna change anything else. I'm just gonna attempt to squeeze a couple of 100 points out, and then I'm done. It's nearly 11 o'clock. Okay. Well, thanks for hiding behind Cinebench and a CPU-Z Windows. Very, very thoughtful of you. It's just what I need at this particular juncture. So that's a 10.6K, and I'm gonna throw in a little reboot because vCore adjustment in OS seems to freeze it. Now, when I tried Elite vCore adjustments, up for sure hang the OS. I could have tried down, but I'm at this point in the evening. I'm not in the mood. Just give it a quick because I'm gonna have to build a BIOS profile for the next session anyway, and it's if I don't build it now, I'm gonna keep forgetting, and maybe I won't even look at the temp display the next couple of runs and be like, why is the score so bad? Oh, I'm running 105 degrees. Now it all makes sense. Did it just reorder? It reordered profiles according to currency. I don't know if I like that. I'm so used to, especially on Gigabyte, just always saving over 8 and 7 and like having assigned slots rather than a number of slots that can reorder themselves based on currency. I think that's a bit fucking dodgy, to be honest. Okay, next week, tentatively, what's it called? Cezanne. Is it called Cezanne? Yeah, tentatively, but we'll see how it goes. X265. No, I don't want to kill my chip. We have a boot. let's double check our V-core in CPZ, and our thermals will be improved. I don't know how improved they will be, but we should see a better score. Let me chuck a shortcut onto our desktop, as they call it. Okay. Why is it boosting around weirdly? I don't like this, but let's do it anyway. What's our thermals? 28, that's fine. Cezanne is, well, if I'm remembering right, it's the 5th gen APUs, so they're still fastest. The quad cores are still fastest for quad core GPU Pi. Faster than locked Alder Lake, for example. 800 watts, nice. I just can't get over the fact that we're rendering couches for competitive benching. It's so dumb. So 10.6 is the score to beat. We're still at 10.6. I didn't even look at I didn't even fucking look at temps. God damn it. Let's give it a real-time run. I know this is not always faster, but let's just give it a real-time run. We're back down to 30. Now let's check temps again. We were at 104, 105, 93, 96, 97, 101, 102. Didn't help as much as I thought it was going to help. Oof. I have both a 5300G and a 5350G, and I'm not actually sure which one is a better bin, so that might be part of the stream to swap them around and see which one's better, because the G I only ran for Geekbench 6 in Team Cup, which doesn't really give me the bidding info I need. I need how much GPU Pi, how high I can pass GPU Pi. Okay, I'm going to sleep, guys. Thank you for watching the stream. It has been fun. Until next week, and I think Tuesday night will be good again then, so let's try to keep it up once a week, every week. Tuesday night, worst score. Well, that's Cinebench 20 for you. I may have to remove maximum and stuff, like it gets a bit weird about maximum. Anyway, thanks for watching. Until next time.